Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dashcoin Research Podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Wenzel, and today we have Trey with us. Trey is the founder of Poggers, a healthy drink mix company that makes good flavors and makes it fun. Trey, it's great to have you here.
Appreciate it. Very happy to be here.
Let's start with a little bit about what Poggers is, and maybe do a short overview of what it is, and then we'll get into your background afterward.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've been a brand, very organic brand, small team for 4 years. We launched our first product, which was our energy product 4 years ago with just one flavor. Started with, at the time we called it Pog Pop, but we've changed it to Rocket Pop, just the standard now. But we wanted to create two things essentially with our product. One is fun branding, very memeable, cartoon-like branding that people would enjoy. Kid-friendly as well. And then number two is having really good flavors as well as a healthy product. So my kids, I don't want to ever let them have like any of the dyes or the nasty carcinogens and stuff. So there's really not that much on the market that tastes incredible that doesn't have dyes. So it's always like, soda and all sorts of things. So that's really why we created our product, just to make it easy and healthy and enjoyable.
That's dope. I really appreciate that because I'm very health conscious as well. Like I don't eat like Red 40 and like all the dyes that are in everything. It's really hard to keep away from that stuff. And I'm glad to see that you're making something like healthy because it's really important for the children and for everyone to have good products.
100%.
That's awesome. So how'd you get into that? Like what's the background that led you to doing that?
So I've always been on the management side behind the scenes for tons of different clients. I own my own marketing agency called Vast. We launched in 2017, and I've helped a ton of influencers grow, a ton of brands grow. I've always been behind the scenes of helping other people grow their product lines. And so finally, we put a small team together and said, let's do this for ourselves. Like we can create a better product, something that we would actually consume all the time. And there was always things that I loved. There's tons of other products out there that are great. They all have their pros and cons. Ghost Lifestyle has incredible canned energy flavors. G Fuel's done a great job with branding in the space. So we sort of just wanted to carve out our own product that I was diehard for and I would consume every single day. And I'm sort of a health nut, just a little bit. Like as an example, I haven't had this upcoming October, I haven't had a single soda in 20 years. So that's like just one weird thing about me. So like I'm sort of a health nut. So if I'm going to consume it every day, you can trust it.
Do you eat seed oils?
I avoid as much as I possibly can. It's near impossible to like avoid everything all the time because going out to dinner or just going out for events or being out late with friends or whatever and grabbing like fast food, like there's definitely going to be some times where you put stuff in your body that you don't really want to, but I do try to avoid for the most part. Our pantry and our fridge is very health conscientious, and our kids are. I don't want to say that we gatekeep a lot of things, but when they get a single piece of candy at night after dinner, they're like very excited for that versus like binging it all day and it's just the norm. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Health is wealth. So I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, that's super cool. I like that you were managing these stuff for other people, and you saw the opportunity for yourself where you're like, oh, I could do this better. Like, no need to make other people money when you can make yourself some money and like you do it yourself. So how's that been with Poggers so far? Like, take us through the journey of the company.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of learnings, a lot of good and bad, obviously, as you spin up something completely new. But in the beginning, obviously, we just wanted to launch a clean and healthy product. We just started with one flavor. 4 years ago, manufacturing has changed a ton. So 4 years ago, it was you sort of had to order like much larger minimum order quantities to be able to get your first like flavor out. Now that's changed and our manufacturing relationships have improved. But we wanted to just keep it an organic business. So we always kept it a very small team. It's just the founding members that run the business, and we all do it without sort of taking any pay. We're really just focused on taking the money that we make from the business and putting it back into the business. And so over the years, we've compounded being able to launch new products and more flavors. And this past January, we really optimized sort of how we wanted to run as a team, and everything started to spin up and compound really fast. We were able to pretty much double our sales starting in January, which, keep in mind, it's all organic. We don't pay for any paid advertising, no paid media, no ads on Facebook or Instagram, none of that kind of stuff. And it's just all word of mouth through like our gaming niche. So we really spun it up, and over the last 6 months, we've just been compounding and growing rapidly, and we've been seeing a lot of success. So when we came across some of the products, especially through the Believe app, we knew that there was a massive opportunity to shift and change the way that product businesses could operate in the Web3 space, and so we sort of seized the day.
Nice. What's your crypto background? Are you familiar with this space? Is it new to you?
Yes, so I've been in since I first became everyone's exit liquidity in 2017, 2018. I guess that's everyone's first experience, is always like, oh my gosh, I bought the top, this is incredible. And like you're in this tiny little euphoric space where you think that you're about to go to oblivion. But I joined the Web3 space in 2017. My first investment was with Ethereum, a little bit of Litecoin, a little bit of Bitcoin, and that was where I stopped. And I was the one left holding when everything really tanked. And I just held throughout like the entire time, because to me, it was just sort of disposable income. I didn't put anything that I wasn't comfortable with losing at the time. But since then, there's a heavy overlap between gaming and Web3. And so we've had a ton of Web3 clients that we've worked with and worked for. And then we've just sort of compounded our knowledge over the years. And believe it or not, I'm actually pretty heavy now into a lot of the ETH memes, like ETH meme coins and stuff. So I'm sort of an ETH maxi a little bit, but I've been seeing how Solana has really exploded over the last year, and I've gotten involved with that as well. So it's been fun.
Man, you're an ETH maxi. You got to get off my show right now.
Right. I normally keep that to myself, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. Just joking around. So you have a good amount of crypto experience. I mean, you've been around since 2017, like peripherally, and had some good experience with different Web3 companies in your marketing agency, sounds like, right? So how'd you hear about Believe?
Yeah, so actually through a buddy of mine that's another Halo coach in the Halo space, and him and I have been always just friendly acquaintances. We've known each other, and then he called me with the idea, and sort of we talked about the dynamic of Believe and how it's an entirely public launch, and it's fair play, so to speak, and a lot of the projects that are going through the app are legitimate and have either tech components or other components that create that trustworthiness. I think some of the other projects we had problems with in just terms of how people used their allocations. They would always like spin off allocation for all sorts of different teams, and they would just have too much control off the rip. So we wanted to be able to have something that we supported and got behind that created legitimacy for our company that we could trust. So he's the one that introduced me to it, and he's been a part of our launch and everything since the beginning.
Nice. How has your experience been with it so far? Did it how was that?
Yeah, we honestly had no idea how like it would all come to fruition. It's still a learning experience launching your own token. And you don't know if there's going to be mass adoption, if there's going to be negative feedback, positive feedback. Obviously, there's things that you have to learn along the way, but it's been super positive, to be honest. Like I've seen a lot of projects get eaten alive as right off the rip by just the crypto community and Web3 community with all sorts of feedback. So our feedback has been pretty positive, and in terms of people just lending ideas, throwing out different, content concepts or things that we could do with our project. So it's been super, super good, super positive.
Nice. It's good that you have yourself and your friend who have some crypto experience, because so what I've seen with some of the Web2 founders who came in who have no idea about crypto, they they'll take advice from random holders who are like, oh, burn all your tokens, and it's like that's because the holders want a quick fix of like a quick price pump, and not exactly thinking long term. So I feel like you guys are more positioned to avoid those kind of pitfalls, and you guys know what to say no to and what to accept as feedback from the holders and all that. Do you have plans of what you're going to do with the fees that you guys have created so far?
So absolutely. Yeah. So we have a couple components that are going to create a healthy ecosystem. So one, we have a 5% buyback that we're doing on all sales. So all of our revenue that we continue to grow, we'll do a 5% buyback of the token. So that will help with sort of the token being tied to the personal success of the brand one-to-one. So they're not completely separate like they originally were at launch. So that's one. Another component is we will have the Solana Pay integration into our shop where you'll be able to actually purchase product with the token if you choose to do so. And for that, we have right now, for the first 6 months, we're going to do a 50% buyback and burn of all product purchased with the token. And that will scale down slightly. We have sort of tiers that we've created. So it'll change to 40%, 30%, 20%, and then it'll bottom out at 10% long term. But that just creates an additional burn that can help with the price action and supply and stuff like that for current holders. The whole goal is to create almost like this exclusive club of people that believe in the project long term and then see value in the token long term. But those are our two primary components.
I like it. Nice. But so you've also created these creator fees. Like you guys have, 2% of the volume of the trading token. Like most projects, I think at your size have probably generated like between $20,000 and like $50,000 worth of Solana. With that money, do you have plans of what you're going to do with it? Yeah.
So we have two things. So one, forgot to mention, 5% of that as well will go into a buyback. So that's another component. The rest of it is really focused on our business roadmap as well as our community efforts. So we've got a couple other ideas that we're still chewing on and trying to figure out. So we want to go after some staking components in the future. We want to be able to offer a partner program as well as an affiliate program that has some sort of tokenomics built into it. Still figuring out exactly how we want to introduce that. But a lot of the fees that we'll be accumulating is just business funds to be able to further flavors, our roadmap, design upgrades for our universe. We want to expand beyond just the frog character. We're going to have other characters that we introduce, so new IP, a ton of other things that we want to be able to introduce. So that's like, it'll go towards the partnerships that we're introducing and things of that nature.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a really special thing about these Believe tokens is that you're giving like early stage startups and small companies like a good amount of capital they can use to expand their business, and that's exciting. What excites you the most about this business?
Probably the new product lines. My biggest thing that I've been wanting to get into is gummies. I think that I just want to offer initially I want to offer a healthy gummy that even my kids can eat on a regular basis. So finding candy that you can trust right now in America is sort of tough, especially with the dyes and all sorts of things in it. So having gummies that are just on the go, that are low sugar, low calorie, that's like my biggest passion, is introducing something like that. Super convenient and fun and easy. So that's my biggest one. My other one is I love partnerships. I always have. I like the art of the deal, so to speak, and creating like a mutually beneficial relationship with a lot of people. So we have a ton of partnerships that are finalizing the dates that we want to announce that are coming soon. And some of them are pretty big. So it's hard because I want to just spill it and say everything, but all in due time. So those are the two biggest things for me.
Nice. Yeah, if you're not following yet, follow Trey and Poggers on Twitter, because then you'll get to see those updates, those partnership updates. What's your experience been with the Believe team so far? Have you interacted with them much? Have you, or has it been pretty hands off?
Yeah, so we got connected with them in a support channel. And they've just been super helpful in terms of answering questions, or even addressing errors in their app, or just things that we can do, like not necessarily guidance, but more so like steering clear from, and just making sure that we're on the right track. So we've asked them a ton of questions along the way, and they've been super supportive.
Nice. How big was your team, by the way? You said it's the founding team, but is that like 4 people? Is it 5?
Yeah, it's 5 people. It's 5 people as the founding team. So we have a pretty diverse group of people, but everybody contributes in their own way. We have people that handle our affiliate program that's on the actual business side, other people that handle more of like the editing and design and visuals. We launched an AI. We've been playing around with some of the AI components, like the new Google VO3 is what I believe it's called. And that stuff is hilarious. It's super goofy and fun, but we're just trying to introduce new things. And then we have other members that are a little bit more on like the creative side. And then I fall heavily on the manufacturing side. So doing all the negotiations for flavors and pricing and just trying to get all that situated. We do a lot of testing for products, especially in flavors. So that's rounds out our whole team.
Nice. Do you own much of the token supply of your own token? Like, did you buy any? Like, did the team buy any? And because I think you guys are allocated some amount just from like naturally the fees structure, how it works, but it's a varying degree. Like Dupe, for example, they want to buy like 20% of their own token or 25% or something, and so they've been buying off the open market, and they had some of their original allocation. I guess the main question is like, how do you think about supply for your own project? Like, are you a project that wants to keep a lot of your supply, or is the supply mainly just for traders who want to use it? Like, I mean, your company might not need the supply.
Yeah, so I would say we fall a little bit more in the middle. I definitely did purchase. I believe in my own project, and I'm just going to continue to be a holder. I also do accumulate every single time there's a major pullback. I always accumulate more just because I believe in the long-term vision that we have, and I sort of know all the plans that we're going to introduce. So I think that there's a lot of conviction there. And we don't have necessarily a target per se of like we want to own 25%, let's say. But like as a team, we do want to accumulate more with each pullback, and then we just believe in it. So there's definitely a lot of conviction there.
Nice. Have you interacted with much with the other Believe founders so far?
I have not. So that's something that I'm just getting into. Now that we're hitting, yesterday was our 2-week mark. I feel like the last 2 weeks has been in crypto time. That's like years. But because it's definitely funny. We had, as soon as we launched, it's like within the first 12 seconds, people want to see a roadmap and they want to see all the partnerships and they want to see, and I'm like, okay, hold on, wait a second. Let's make sure that we get this right. But that's something that I want to lean into, is getting connected with some of the other people that have launched on the Believe app and being able to just trade some ideas and see what's worked for them and what some of their experiences are. We've looked at some of the other projects. Dupe is a great one, where we saw what they were able to put together. And then we wanted to create our own rendition of that for our project and our token. So my plan is to definitely connect with some of them and just get more ideas rolling.
Yeah, it's a really special community. I've noticed that people are very friendly with each other and they really want to help out. Because it's all very new to like all of us. Most people are learning as they go. Most people launched without really thinking it through very much, to be honest with you. And so we're figuring it out as we go. Would you say you fell more into that camp where you're like, let's try it out kind of thing? Or were you like, did you have a big vision before you launched?
So I would say we had a vision of the ideas and the concepts of things that we wanted to execute on, but we didn't have like it put into a concrete, this is where we're planting our flag. So like in terms of percentages for buybacks, let's say, or buybacks and burns, or what we're going to use our fees on, like in terms of the buybacks, those percentages we didn't have figured out because we wanted to make sure that we created a healthy ecosystem. If I burn too much, then it spikes the price. If I burn too little, it's not enough incentive. So trying to find that sweet spot, also base it and tie it to our sales. So we had like a vision of what we wanted to do. We just didn't necessarily have all the numbers figured out. And then also on the product side, that's something that we've been fleshing out for years. So we have that vision already in place. We have 7 phases right now of what we want to actually achieve, like on the business side. And so that's already been, concrete and set in stone for quite some time.
Nice. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What percent of your sales come from like affiliates versus like organic marketing, or where people just kind of know you through word of mouth? Like, I'm very curious, like where your business comes from.
Yeah. So it's largely dependent on our organic reach. So we have a pretty strong foundation in gaming and the whole gaming culture. I mean, Poggers is synonymous in like Twitch chats and things like that. But our affiliate program is really strong through signing like Twitch creators and content creators that create short form videos and stuff like that. So that makes up anywhere between 15 and 25% of our sales like monthly. And that's a main driving force. So those referrals are pretty significant for us, and we treat our affiliates with a lot of respect and understanding because of that. I think where a lot of other brands are focused on like the really big creators, the biggest and the baddest, and Ninja and Tim the Tap Man and like all these crazy big streamers, we're focused on the micro influencers, because what we've seen is a lot of these smaller communities will convert really well on sales. So we've signed creators that have 1,500 viewers on Twitch, and they'll sell three tubs of product. And then I've signed creators that have 10 viewers on Twitch, and they'll literally sell all 10 people in their stream on tubs of product. So it's crazy, the conversion. And so that's what we lean into. We lean into those people that we just see more value out of.
Is there like a self-serve way that people can become affiliates with you, or do they have to go through you to like get that affiliate kind of badge?
Yeah, so we do outreach to affiliates that we want to work with and people that we want to onboard to our affiliate program. But primarily, it's an application process. So you have to apply, and then we approve you. And so we always comb through and make sure that we try to do as much due diligence on our part as we can. So there's been a lot of, I don't want to call it policing, but just making sure that it's brand appropriate. Like we can't have affiliates running around and saying all sorts of crazy things and representing our brand. There has to be some balance there. So we do have an approval process for sure.
That makes sense. Yeah, you want to make sure that the right messages are being spoken around your product. Mm-hmm. So you're also in the Air Force National Guard. Can you tell us a little bit about like what that means and what that means to you and how you got into doing that?
Yeah. So I was a professional Halo player for 4 years, and after that whole career died, and the space just didn't have as much money in it, I was like, there's no longevity here. I have to do something. So I joined the Air Force National Guard on February 14th, so Valentine's Day of 2014. I just hit my 11-year mark, and I love it. I joined as an enlisted member in the Kentucky Air National Guard, and I'll probably stay until they try to kick me out and force me to leave. But yeah, it's included a ton of travel. Obviously, we just do drills once a month and then a 2-week annual tour. Been all sorts of places for my annual tour, and then we have deployments as they pop up. But I love it. It's been a super beneficial thing being in the Air Force National Guard as well as having a civilian career and like having my own business. So it allows me to still have that freedom and do what I want to do in life.
Yeah, it seems like a really good balance between the two, where you're not fully like totally dedicated into the military life, but you also still do have some of the benefits that go along with that.
100%.
Do you find the community aspect of it nice?
Yes, it's like the world's biggest fraternity. That's like what it is. It has all the same dynamics too, I'll tell you. But on a serious note, it's very much, it's extremely serious when it's mission critical, which I like the pressure cooker. I like being, in a high pressure environment. I think it's super fun. And it gets you to understand more about yourself in terms of can you cut it? Can you handle the pressure? Things like that. I like those kind of challenges. And like, even as an example, we have a Air Force physical training test, and the PT test is once a year you have to take it. I have not been able to get the 100% every single year. I get a 99.5, which is like this close to my goal of 100. I just want to get it one time. And it's been like this elusive goal. So that's just the type of person I am. And I think that those kind of people end up thriving in the military if you're always sort of chasing the next challenge. So for me, I've been enlisted for 11 years, but I'm an officer select, so I'll go to officer training school within the next 6 months, likely. So waiting on those dates, and that should be a whole new journey after that.
Have you ever been deployed in your 11 years?
No, I have not been deployed. So I'll tell you, it's very frustrating at times with the deployments because I've got 45 people in my unit for my career field. And when a deployment lines drop, it'll start and they'll say, we need 12 people to go XYZ here. And everyone will start raising their hand because everyone wants to get deployed. And that's the thing is like in the Air Force, once you understand how you're treated and you understand your job and the benefits of going overseas, everyone wants to deploy. Contrary to popular belief, most people are like, oh, I don't ever want to deploy. I don't ever want to go over there. It's like, no. You get hazard pay. You get treated well. All you do is work out the whole time. And like, that's pretty much like a deployment. You work hard, play hard. So you work hard all day and then you go to the gym immediately afterwards. And it's just all your best friends and stuff like that. So it's very fun, but then it ends up dropping and instead of 12 lines, it'll be 6 lines. And then you're sitting there like, well, only 6 of us get to go, and now it's like everyone's fighting over who gets to go. It's like, well, you went last time, I'm going this time. Like you just, so I haven't been a part of that. That selection process is to be able to actually be one of those few people that get to be deployed in my unit.
Because like people would get deployed for something like a hurricane or something like that, right? And you don't, you haven't been needed to go. Yeah. So there is definitely the at-home component where you get deployed for hurricanes, tornadoes, storms, all that kind of stuff. And we've done like for COVID, we got put on extra orders for COVID. So I've done some of the at-home duty stuff, but I've just never gone on a full-blown like 6-month deployment to the Middle East, for instance. Unfortunately. Getting back to crypto.
Sorry, I derailed this.
No, I mean, I did too. Do you trade any of these Believe tokens? Like, besides you said you bought some of your own, but do you trade any of the others?
Not right now. So I am a very long-term holder. So even my strategy on all of the ETH memes, I have been holding since a buddy got me into it in January, February of 2024, really heavy into like the memes. And I was buying a lot of the memes that you're seeing, like, I don't know, Pepe, Andy, Brett, like the Boys Club, Joe Coin, Stonks, like, different 4chan memes, stuff like that. I bought sub 500K, sub 1 million, like market caps. And I've just been holding since then. So I'm very like, the way that people think about crypto is people in the space. So I've noticed is like crazy long-term to them is like 6 months.
Yeah.
Crazy long-term to me is like, I can retire by 2032. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good. So I'm a little bit different in that. So I like to do my research on the communities and the narratives and, is there a CTO behind it? Like, is there a group of people that believe and have conviction in this project before I get in? So I plan to do that and have sort of a selection process for some of the other Believe tokens, but I haven't chosen any yet. I think Dube's probably top of my list. So
Dube's one of my favorites as well because they have like a lot of revenue. The founder is great. They're good at tweeting, which is an important part of this, unfortunately. There's so many cool projects out there, but the founders don't know how to like play Twitter and how to be active on Twitter.
Yep.
And it's an unfortunate thing because I feel like it shouldn't have to be that way, but unfortunately it is. That's a huge edge to be able to tweet well. And I think you're pretty good at that. Like the Poggers team tweets quite a bit.
We're decent. We're decent.
Account?
No. That's definitely my team. My team. And they do a fantastic job. I will say we have gotten a lot of feedback. If I don't post for 24 hours, people are already claiming that I've gone dark and abandoned the project. Like,
It's crazy.
I'm like, it was Father's Day, people. Like, let me spend some time with my kids, please, mercy.
Yeah,
But it's definitely a different beast for sure.
It's wild. I think that's about all that I had to ask you, Trey. Is there anything that you would like to talk about before we wrap up?
Not necessarily. I mean, I will say we have a lot of long-term plans for the project. I'm very appreciative for the community members that have actually like believed in the project since the beginning, and they see the vision and they have that patience with us. But it's been definitely funny to see a lot of the feedback of, frequency that people are expecting, whether it be posting every hour or whatever the expectation is. But I think that we're working towards releasing more and announcing more and bringing cool partnerships to the Web3 space that really haven't been done before. So super excited to just talk more about it, and hopefully we'll circle back and I'll do another one of these with you after I have a lot more to talk about and share.
Yeah.
So
Totally. I always like follow-up episodes, maybe in a couple weeks or months.
100%.
Well, Trey,
a couple hours, because we need to be on top of it.
You gotta stay active on Twitter. Thank you so much for coming on, Trey. This was a great episode. I'm looking forward to seeing more, and I'm also a proud Poggers holder, so just so you know.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right, till next time, Trey.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicholas.